Hey there friends, so our anti-spin flower intensive here continues with us learning how to do anti-spin flowers in together opposites. That's right, flowers in butterfly. Let's check that out. Drex here from DrexFactory.com, bringing you flow arts and poi spinning to benefit your body and brain during the COVID-19 quarantine. And today we are diving into another timing and direction combination for our anti-spin flowers. Before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow Toys, Pyroterra Light Toys, LMF Props, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these awesome companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I've got down in the description of this video. So as grateful as I am that the weather finally cleared up and I'm getting a little bit of sunshine here, it is also just a little bit breezy out, and I know from experience that that's going to make things a little bit difficult when editing the audio, so I apologize in advance if my voice is a little scratchy when you listen to it out there. But that is not why we are here today. Dearly beloved, we are here to make our anti-spin flowers work in butterfly. That's right, in together opposite. And this is going to be one of those fun places where a number of different threads from the past few weeks all come together. So pretty please, if you have not already, go and check out my tutorial on the lanes of poi, because it's about to become really important. If you can't do a butterfly with your arms crossed, you're going to have a really difficult time today. So we are going to have to relearn a few of the mechanics of how to make butterflies work, simply because every trick that we've used with butterflies thus far has also involved the poi spinning in the same direction as our hands. Things change a little bit when they're working in opposite directions, so let's see if we can't take some of the drills that we've pulled together in other videos and make them work for us here. I'm going to arbitrarily decide that I'm going to start by having my poi spin in what I consider to be a forwards butterfly. That is, the poi are coming up out to the sides and they're coming down through the middle. Yeah? I'm going to start with my arms kind of out to the sides, like I'd be flapping my wings and everything. And I'm going to go ahead and start off by treating this like a linear isolation. I'm going to drop both of my poi down my center line and pull my hands in with them. And then I'm going to pick my hands up and cross them over each other. Yeah? Now, to get back out of this, I'm going to need to poke both of them up towards the sky, and my hands are going to sneak out from underneath them back out to the sides, yeah? So it is, I'm going to drop the poi, cross my arms, I'm going to pop the poi, and sneak my hands back out to the sides, yeah? So it should be noted that if indeed you are not that hugely comfortable with keeping your poi going in butterfly with your arms crossed, you don't have to hang out here for long. To be perfectly frank with you, I'd say if you can get in a couple beats and then get out of dodge, that is 100% okay. So your goal here is to try and see if you can make this smooth. Think drop to crossed, pop to out. Drop to crossed, pop to out. If you need to take this slower and think that you're going to do 3 beats in each spot, say 3, 2, 1, drop to cross, 3, 2, 1, pop to out, 100% okay. Then you can work your way down to just doing 1, 2, drop to cross, 1, 2, pop to out, and then work your way just down to 1, thinking 1 to cross, pop to out, drop to cross, pop to out. But this ultimately is where our intended destination is for the day. It's also going to be super tempting to kind of hedge your bets on this and maybe treat that middle part like more of a butterfly than having your arms crossed. Buck that temptation, because it's going to make those flowers end up looking not very much like flowers. So we really are looking to get our arms crossed here. To be perfectly frank with you, as much as it may make you anxious to cross your arms, you're going to have an easier time keeping the poi from hitting each other the further you get your arms crossed through here, yeah? The closer they are together, the more likely it is that something is going to go wrong. All right, so we know how to do our drop to crossed and our pop to open. Now it's time to actually turn this into a flower. So I'm going to go ahead and drop both my hands and poi down to cross, pop them both up and out to get back to the sides. So you're probably going to find that the dropping down to crossed is going to be a little uncomfortable. Namely, you're going to be playing around with this place where you're just kind of like, should I be dropping them pretty much into the same space or dropping them to each side? And the answer I'm going to give you on that one is I would rather see you edge more on the side of keeping that pedal on the bottom kind of above each individual foot. So aim for your feet, and then get to crossed before you pop out. Ironically enough, when we get to this stage, the popping out part, I feel like it's a little bit easier because really you're kind of following the path of the poi to getting out of a kind of uncomfortable place. So again, your goal here is to think you're going to get through this flower 10 times, drop to cross, up to out, drop to cross, up to out. And again, you don't have to hang out with your arms crossed here. Get out of there as soon as you can. This is, you can definitely make a case for, hey, I should probably drill this just to like get the feeling more solid and everything. And yes, you should at some point, but as you're getting these flowers down, just work on getting the overall move. You don't need to be a hero here. And I will also point out that this is one of those places where if you have that tendency with your anti-spin flowers to kind of guide the poi to where they're going, you're much more likely to get them tangled. Again, think that each time you're arriving at a different petal, that your hands are more or less going in a straight line between those points. Don't allow them to curve in and around because, quite frankly, badness will happen as those planes are coming in contact with each other. Cool, so let's take a look at that in slow-mo. Okay, but don't we have another direction to go? Why, yes, yes indeed we do. So instead of starting with a forwards butterfly, that is with the poi going down in the middle and up on the outsides, switch it around so that the poi are going down on the outsides and up through the middle, yeah? Now things are going to change just a little bit because now we have to pop the poi up to get them crossed and drop them down to get them back out. That down part is, it's going to be a real fun challenge. Again, if you need to take this slow, that's totally fine. Think getting in 3, 2, 1, to cross, 3, 2, 1, to drop them back out. One of those tricks to getting that drop back out is really to think of it as being that you're just going to kind of, it's almost like a trap door falling apart. Like you don't need to like aim for a spot because chances are you're going to hit the other arm as you're doing that. Think that it's more that your job is to almost like stall the poi out to the outsides, about shoulders width apart, and then pull them back out to the sides, yeah? Cool. So once you feel comfortable with it, you can pop to cross and drop to out. Then we turn this into a flower as well. So think that as you're doing that popping, your arms are going to go up with them. And as you're doing the dropping, your arms are going to go down with them too. Honestly, I have never felt 100% comfortable doing the down part of this. It's just something that you kind of sight your way through and kind of think, hey, you know, any landing that you can walk away from is a good one, right? So the goal overall for today is to be able to do 10 butterfly anti-spin flowers with the poi going forwards and 10 butterfly anti-spin flowers with the poi going reverse, yes? And of course, some theory for you. Now, remember how when we were playing around with Together Same, I talked about how they kind of produce an image that is like doubled, that is, you're seeing two copies of the same thing right next to each other and everything? Together Opposite does this interesting thing where it reflects. Basically, you can think of there being like a center line of symmetry that goes straight up and down my body. And whenever I'm performing these anti-spin flowers in Together Opposite, basically you see me drawing out the same figure reflected across that center line, yeah? And of course, this is really pleasing to the eye too, because it matches the type of symmetry that the human body has. We're symmetrical side to side, but not top to bottom, right? So it kind of meshes really, really well with the kind of symmetry that we're already used to seeing. Sweet! We have 2 timing and direction combinations down for our anti-spin flowers. We're going to be diving into the split timings next week, but in the meantime, I'm going to show you some drills for how you can go back and forth between these 2 anti-spin flowers tomorrow. Awesome. And of course, if you want to rush on ahead, you ought to check out some of the courses that are available at my learning site at learn.drexfactor.com. In addition to having a great intermediate series there called Beyond the Basics of Poi Spinning, I also have courses on how to learn gunslingers, isolations, all kinds of stuff. And most of that is stuff that I'm not going to be covering in this course. So currently all of it is available for 50% off by using the discount code COVID-19. So go and learn yourself some Poi while we're in the middle of this quarantine here, yeah? And of course, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and make sure that your flow curious friends out there know that these tutorials exist. My biggest hope in all of this is that we come out of this awful world calamity with a lot more flomies to play with, that we are bringing the love of flow arts to as many people as possible, so please help me do it. And of course, if you're getting anything out of this project, please consider signing up to support me and it over at Patreon, like all these nice folks did. It is not a stretch to say that without the support that I'm getting through Patreon, the amount of time that it is taking me to be able to post a tutorial every single day during the quarantine and everything would be physically impossible for me. So if you have the means and you would like to support this work, and I totally understand if it's a no on either case, but if it's a yes, please head on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and sign up. You get early access to all of my content, plus a say in what topics I tackle in the future, and I will even post behind the scenes content from time to time too, yeah? So go and check that out. Thank you in advance. All right, so now that we know both our together same and together opposite anti-spin flowers, we have to start talking about transitions between them. That is going to be the topic of tomorrow's video, and it's going to set us up for our combo on Friday, yeah? Please tune in to watch. I'll see you then. Peace.